Yo, a strip show, dance show.
We're there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, what is causing your plane to be stuck on the tarmac, and why are deer still celebrating Halloween? Also, a grocery store lady is made to clean up after her kids, and a hockey player is charged with murder on the ice. All this and much, much more we discussed here on DeaconLive. How are you? How are things? Welcome to DeaconLive as we go over some of the... I gotta work on this a little bit more. So, welcome to DeaconLive as we go over some of the social news stories you might have missed over the last 7 days or so. So, how are you? How are things going? How are things going for you? Getting ready for Thanksgiving? What is it, a week and a half or something like that? Jesus Christ. My wife told me the other day, you got to go Thanksgiving shopping this week. And I go, when is Thanksgiving? What's today's day? And she's like, oh, it's the 15th. And I go, oh, really? So we're we're Thanksgiving shopping this Thursday, Friday, or whatever for next. So the food's going to sit in the refrigerator for a week or so. She's like, no. You know, I'll get the turkey later on in the week. You've got to get all the other stuff so they don't run out. And I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, I can do that. So I'm going grocery shopping sometime this Friday or Saturday or something. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I hope you guys are ready for that. You ready for your family and everyone to come over? Isn't this the time of year where everyone just kind of double pounds, double fist Jaeger bombs and pounds? If you're watching me on the video here as I do the double fist, I look like I'm in some kind of sex act here. Like I'm doing something really disturbing. And that's right. For every podcast we do, we have a matching video, and make sure you go over to YouTube and subscribe to us over there on YouTube as well. So I am still fighting with Facebook even today, I have unfriended 13 people, and I hate to unfriend them, but if you're that thing, and it's back to the highlights thing, I'm getting more. It died off for a little bit. So I appreciate you out there that listened to the show last week and go, maybe this highlight thing is not a good idea. Deacon I don't want to lose Deacon's friendship. But obviously there's 13 people today that did not get the message. And I even post on my Facebook page, and you can find us over on Facebook as well. And I posted, hey, big thing, Facebook, with a big official seal. This is a scam. Do not do this. And all out of my 5,000 some odd friends that I have, I still have morons out there that are like going, I'll put highlights in there. And so 13 people lost another 13 people today. So I hope they survive without me. I know I will survive without them. Maybe. I don't know. It's tossed up in the air. Now, one thing, and here we go again. What's this going on? Oh, never mind. I'll answer that one later. But another thing I got into a little kerfuffle with, a little squirmish, if you may, is there's this lady on my news feed. I don't of course, out of the 5,000 some odd people, I've probably met at least 1,000 something of them. I knew them, went to high school, met them on live broadcasts and stuff like that. I've met them in one shape or form. But this one person keeps putting up these, how realtors will post, hey, I sold a house, and the realtor was standing there next to the person they sold the house to, and they hold up the big key, or they got the little key in their hand. They're like going, look, I did it. I know how to be a realtor. It's just like holding up a game fish or holding up a deer head. Look, I did it. I killed something. I did something. This is proof. This is proof I sold a house. It's so cliche, but the realtor game out there is just so weird to me. But people make a living on it, and some people don't. One of my good friends on there posted what it took to be a realtor and how many hours a week you have to work and all the stuff you have to do. And I go, no way, not for me. For the return you get, now, of course, you get into a high dense community with a whole bunch of selling points and stuff where you work with a builder. Of course, you can make some pretty good money doing that. But I digress. There are still some people out there that are doing crypto. Hey, ask me how to get rich on crypto. Is that still a thing now? I thought we got rid of that when the whole Dogecoin and all that other stuff kind of tanked, when Bitcoin tanked there for a little bit. What was there? What was another one? Safe Moon. I think at one time all the rappers had their own kind of cryptocurrency and they could exchange it for, pennies and pennies on the dollar. But I guess there's still people out there peddling this cryptocurrency bullshit. Now, I say it's bullshit to a certain degree. I know in other countries, they rely on that because those third world countries don't have their own currency and their currency is weak. So why not? Why not create this fictitious crypto where it's just, zeros and ones and it's valuable to something else? Oh, you got more zeros and ones? You got more ones and zeros? I'll take it. I'll move it over here and we'll exchange and stuff and, trading for goods. But this one person would post on her Facebook page, would post a person standing there and with a placard board in front of them, kind of like the realtor thing, but just the person and a placard board. And it says, I was $70,000 in debt thanks to Claudia, who's the person I said, you want to come on the air and defend yourself? Nope, didn't want to do it. I said, all right, well, good. I'm going to rip you apart. Here's Claudia. Thanks to Claudia, I am now out of debt. And then I'd see another picture, young couple, early 30s, if not late 20s. Thanks to Claudia, I'm $175,000 out of debt. And they've got that little thing. And the board that they're holding is one where it's got the little white letters that you push in the grooves of the black board. It's got the little lines on the little black marquee looking thing. And you put the little white letters in it. Well, what she's done is gotten a generic picture and with a person holding that board and erasing the message that was already on there. These, not Getty files or Getty pics or something like that, like an open forum picture of people holding these signs and putting the words that she wants to say, because I was like, oh, come on. I said, why aren't you in these pictures? Oh, I'm too busy. They're just proud people that share their experience with how I got them out of debt. And I'm instant messaging back and forth. I said, okay, hold on. Thank God for Google, because you can Google reverse image search, and sure enough, I see these same images of a little girl. I say a little girl, a girl in just out of college holding a board. And it says, I was in $75,000 worth of debt. Thanks to Claudia, I'm out debt free. Then I look and I find that same image of that same girl with the same board, same outfit, same everything with another message on it. And I look and it's another dipshit on another website panning or selling the cryptocurrency. And I took, did a whole snap it screen capture and sent it to her. I said, explain this to me. Well, she couldn't explain it to me. She's like, why are you snubbing me? So I'm like, all right, I'm not snubbing you. Found another picture of another couple that she had on there that says, thank you, Claudia, for the $50,000 debt free and all that. Found that picture somewhere else. And it was the two of the couple with their little placard board saying, hold the date or something like that. They're getting married. And it was just generic. And I was like going, busted. So I reached out to her again and I even called her several times. I'm like, hey, look, I'd love to have you on the show. I want to hear what you have to say. If you're selling truly cryptocurrency and you want me to be debt free and all this other stuff, come on the show. So hold on, let me find out. I'll read you some of the stupid shit this person, I don't know if it was Claudia or not, this person was saying to me. So hold on. Yes, I know. I got that. So this says, where's she at here? Give me 1 second. Here we go. So she's writing back and forth, or this person's writing back and forth under the subheaded of Claudia Arango. And it says, well, that's okay. I can lead you into the basic details of knowing what needs to be traded for cryptocurrency and how the benefit cryptocurrency of trading can be. I like to compare this with a crypto as volatile, and she gets me this whole entire spiel. So let's say we invest $2,000. You get an investment return of $14,000 in a week of trade. Yes, that's how profitable investing in cryptocurrency can be. And I go, bullshit. She's like, have you heard or anything? Have you seen or heard anything, any one of my clients complaining? And I returned and said, no, because they're all fake. And she's like, well, I'm a very busy person. I don't have time to do the research or something like that. So I called her. I called her several times. Why are you messing up my network? And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I was just want you guys out there to understand and learn. There are some, what do you call them? Fake people out there. If you ever see those cryptocurrency people like, hey, I can show you how to be a millionaire, and they've got a person standing there with a placard going, hey, This is like here on my, well, I won't, my tablet's connected, but they got a little placard here. I know this is a mirror. Flip it over. And they got a little placard that says, this person got me debt free out of, $50,000 or whatever my debt is. And it's got someone's name on it. It's a crap. It's a bunch of crap. And if you don't know that, highlight me in the in the post, and I'll show you how dumb you are. Not dumb, but I mean, the people who believe in that cryptocurrency thing are the same people who do the highlights. So before you do that yourself, ask yourself, am I this gullible? Am I this naive compared to what's going on? I know my wife was listening to last week's show, and I was telling her about the highlights thing, or she was listening to me talk about the highlights thing, and she's like going, I have no idea what you're talking about. She's like, no one's ever done that to me. I go, you know why? Because your friends are smart. My friends run the gambit of, knuckle draggers and swamp water drinkers all the way up to, the highfalutin stuff who own, Fortune 500 companies, and we appreciate every single one of you. All right, guys, we got a lot to get into, lots to talk about, and there's a brand new beer out there. I say it's brand new. It's been out on the market. It's doing pretty good, where you don't get a hangover, and I'll dive into what that is when we come back. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want to be podcast? Let's try that again. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want to be podcast famous? Well, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love for you to join us right here in the studio. And the way you can be part of the show is whatever device you're listening to us on. Go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. At the bottom of the page is a little blue bar. It's got a little microphone on it. Click on it, and if you got a recording device, you can be right here alongside of us here in the studio, and you can be podcast famous. You can ask us any questions about what's going on here in the past 9 years of show of the existence of Deacon Live. I actually went back and listened to some of the old episodes that a friend of mine wanted to know what happened to a good friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours. I said, well, he passed away. I said, here's the show that I did. Yeah, listen to it. And it's funny to listen to the older shows like past or before 2018 and the different studio I was in and just the production value. It sounds like I'm way over here and I'm really, really talking high. So over the times, the progression and the natural occurrence of upgrading equipment and stuff and getting better producers and better stuff to record the audio and stuff. I think we're doing pretty good, but who knows? We're going into the new year here shortly. We got about another 45 days left of this year, and you got to start making your New Year's resolution. Now, a couple weeks ago, I told you about we had Halloween, and I told you, hey, be careful, those fake spider webs that you're putting out all over the place. They're going to kill someone. They're going to kill a bird. They're going to kill an owl. They're going to kill some kind of animal. Well, right here in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, there's a strange-looking deer running around the woods and bringing lots of calls to the Game Commission. In fact, there was a deer running around Bethel Park. Isn't, terribly unusual, but deer are more active this time of year. What is unique about this one deer, not only does it have an amazing set of antlers, they're also decorated. According to the Pennsylvania Game Commission, there are about 1.5 million white-tailed deer in the state these days. We are pretty much polluted, the Bethel Park hunter, Bill Maganotti, said. It's overwhelming at sometimes. This is why we hunt animals. This is why we, cull the herd. But this big white-tailed deer was running up and down Leprechaun Street in this area is certainly unique. It was in a kind of funny way, this game hunter said. The deer in question was a good-sized buck that have gotten into some of the Halloween decorations and some other decorations as well, and it's all wrapped up in his antlers and can't get it out. So if you want to see this, hold on, let me switch cameras here. It's, there we go. There we go. Camera 4. Thank you. So there he is. He's got like the cobwebs, the fake cobwebs all wrapped up in his antlers and stuff. And that's what they say. This is killing our natural environment. Bill Maganotti said he's seen the animal running around about before it got its antlers decorated. And while it's still strange to see, it happens. They get around these houses, they jump through the fences, one day, and then my nylon fence is attached to their horns for a little while. Like I was saying, they had the one deer, the guy was selling his vehicle, and the deer jumped right over 2 vehicles and landed right on the side of it. It's that time of year, so be careful. I know my wife was coming home one day on a side street. Never forget this story. Us living in Florida, the deer in Florida are small. I mean, there's, I say they're barely 100 pounds, but they might be 100, 110 pounds. And that's small. I mean, it's a good sized dog, but up here, 200-300 pounds. And from my understanding, their pelt, their fur is a different color up here than it is down in Florida. So we don't have a whole lot of deer running around for their lives. So we're never, we're not used to seeing it. But my wife was coming home one day and being a natural Floridian, driving a 2-lane country road back road, smashed into a deer, was crying, oh my God, the front of the car is all wrecked and ruined. Let me go back to camera 1 here. My car is all wrecked and ruined and stuff. So there he goes. Deer's running around with a whole bunch of Halloween decorations on its head. So is that a bonus? I don't know. It's kind of like he's at a handicap. So hopefully he'll do all right. Someone will get him off there. They'll capture him and stuff. Now this one right here is not doing all right. This came in over the wire last night. A Wisconsin woman accused of spiking her friend's water bottle with a lethal dose of eye drops was found guilty Tuesday of first-degree intentional homicide. The jury found Kessie Kerwinski, 39, guilty on all counts, including intentional homicide and theft. After deliberating for only 2 days, Kerwinski broke down in tears when the verdict was read. Kerwinski had been charged in the connection death of a 62-year-old Lynn Hernan, who was found dead in her home in Pewaukee in 2018. So this lady's been locked up for at least 5 years now. Kerwinski was also accused of defrauding Hernan, the woman, of nearly $300,000 in 2 years leading up to her death, according to the criminal complaint. Can you imagine that? What would drive someone? People's minds and their head, when it gets around money, man, they do some crazy things. Kerwinski had pleaded not guilty in first-degree intentional homicide and 2 counts of felony threat. Hernan, who was found unconscious on October 3rd, 2018, seated in a living room recliner next to the table filled with prescription pills, with what appeared to be crushed medication on her chest, according to the police report. The case was initially ruled a drug overdose. She would have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for you meddling kids. Kerwinski, Hernan's friend and caregiver, called the police to report that she had went to Hernan's home and found her unresponsive and not breathing. According to the complaint, Kerwinski allegedly told the police that she believed that Hernan was suicide because of her her failing health conditions. The Waukesha County Sheriff's Office reopened the investigation roughly 3 months after Hernan's death, when the toxicology report showed that Hernan had a fatal dose of tetrahydroline. There you go. Take that one. Hydroline, the main ingredient for over-the-counter eye drops, was in her systems, according to the criminal report. She was arrested and charged in June 2021. During the weeks of the trial, prosecutors said that Kerwinski was one of the beneficiaries of Hernan's will and argued that Lynn Hernan became worth more dead than alive to the defendant. The defense attorney said that Hernan, the lady who passed away, just liked vodka, she also liked Visine. I have no idea why, but these were the opening statements last month. Oh, really? This is I like my little vodka. Would you like a slice of, what do they call, a sprig of lemon on that? No, just use my eyedroppers so I don't get bloodshot eyes. Chug, 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 dead, dead, dead. So there she goes. The defense did not speak out to the press following the verdict. So she is going to jail. I don't know what the sentencing is, but she's been dealing with this for over 5 years and stuff. So she's going to jail, killing her. She was a caregiver and killing someone with Visine. I always thought that was a myth. You know, you always think that really isn't, you always hear about people putting couple things of eyedropper in your beer or something like that to make someone like piss or shit or vomit or something like that. But I guess she did enough to where it killed her over. All right, guys, when we come back, I'm going to tell you about that beer that doesn't give you any hangovers. And is it worth it? Well, we'll get into that when we come back. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Well, we'll give you something for free, but you got to do me a favor. You got to go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com at the bottom of the page. Oh, by the way, proud sponsors of Deacon Live. And you can see all the different podcasts that are produced in this studio. And pick yourself out a little prize pack there. It says free swag, little drop-down menu. It's not an email grab. Believe me, they just want to say thank you for listening to some of the shows that they have here to offer. And make sure you share them with your friend and just fill that little thing out there, a little prize pack, and we'll send it out to you right away. And while you're over there, you can see all the different social contacts and stuff, all the links that links us to you and you to us as well. Now, we're getting into almost the end of the year. I know, right? It just happened. We just, what was it, like 11 months ago? We just celebrated New Year's. And one of the things that we do here on Prophet Radio, or what we do here on Deacon Live, sorry, well, what Prophet Radio would like us to do, let's put it that way, is instead of doing like New Year's resolutions, because after like the first 30 days of the New Year's resolution thing, you just kind of go, I'm done with this. I'm not doing this anymore. But I always like to do predictions. So as these shows get closer to the end of the year, I'll give you my predictions of what's going to happen coming up in 2024. And it's not like, this person's going to win the election. No, just little things. After reading all the news stories and just gobbling up all this information for the last 11 months or so, and just going, okay, this is where I see the world going. My New Year's resolution or my New Year's prediction is going to be X, Y, and Z is going to happen. And this is the reason behind that. So if you guys want to get yours in, now's a great chance to go over to Prophet Radio. At the bottom of the page says, be heard. Give us your predictions going into 2024. What you think is going to happen. What do you think the world's going to look like through your eyes for 2024? And we'll play them on the podcast leading up to the end of the year. Isn't that fun? You guys can participate. I gave you a little task, and now hopefully you guys will fulfill it and come through with flying colors. Now, getting into the end of the year, they're saying, let's clean up your house. Let's get rid of some stuff. I always say, if it's something in the house that I haven't touched for a year, when we go through the house to clean up stuff, if I haven't worn this shirt in a year, garbage. If I haven't touched this thing in a year, garbage. If I haven't done this, I haven't done that. And we did a big purge not too long ago. Took a whole trailer down to the dump, dumped it off. I'm like, there we go. See you later. Haven't touched those. Now, outside of stuff like tools and things that you need regularly, but when they were redesigning the Prophet Radio studio here, some of the stuff I saw them are like going, what are you doing with that? And we're like, we don't use this anymore and throw it away. All this old speakers with the cables and old DVD players and CD players, pitch them, get rid of them. Technology's caught up with us now. So if you're still struggling with clutter in your home, do you have one or more of these items that you never use, but you just can't seem to part with it? Here are 10 useless household items that you need to get rid of to free up space and to simplify your life. The first one on this list, I don't really disagree with. Well, I don't really agree with, is old cameras, because they say with the rise of smartphone, many people have old cameras laying around that they never use, and it's time to recycle them and free up some spaces. Now, I've got a real nice Canon Rebel that I bought my wife, and I come across her dad's Nikon. It's called a Coolpix Pro or something like that, and you got that valuable Nikon. I'm not pitching those. I'm not getting rid of that. Now, he's got a little a Sony, like an Elf or something like that. No one needs that. Pitch that thing. But I mean, I've got some really, really nice cameras here. So if you've got like old cameras laying around, get rid of them. Treasured items. We all have these treasured items, but we never use. They're just collecting dust, and it's time to let them go. Like I know, back to my mom, when she passed away, I've got boxes and boxes full of like precious moments and Norman Rockwell stuff. I tried to sell them at a garage sale. I put $1 on them. People still wouldn't buy them. Get rid of those things. And gifts. Do you have gifts laying around but you never use and you felt guilty about getting rid of them? Well, now it's time to donate them and free up some space. Now, ladies out there, if you got enough makeup out there to last you another year, Get rid of it because a lot of old stuff harbors bacteria. Here's one thing. A garlic press. Now, you see all the master chefs and stuff on TV, and when they make up meals and stuff, they put that garlic in there and they press it, and it's just a gimmick because technically, first of all, it's a pain in the ass to put the garlic in there and try to get anything out of it. Use minced garlic in your recipes, or just take the old side of a knife and just smash the garlic down. It's the same goddamn thing. And if you have any of those exercise gadgets, collecting dust, pitch those as well. Here's one thing I thought was that times are changing. K-cups, that single disposable base cup base for coffee machines. They're saying they're too expensive, they're bulky, and to get rid of it, all this unnecessarily plastic waste for the environment is bad. Consider getting an easy-to-program, inexpensive drip coffee maker, or make a single cup, or get even a single cup version of it. I know my dad, when he moved in, he had this big, huge, it was like one of those CRT monitors and stuff sitting on the counter. I said, Dad, we got to get rid of this Keurig thing. You're making one cup, and this thing's taking up, valuable real estate on the countertop here. Get rid of it. And they make a single small one. It's about the size of what would you say, like a small pitcher, like a pitcher, like a gallon jug. It's smaller than a gallon jug, and it fits right on the counter. My dad uses that by all means. I didn't know people had these, but I guess they want you to get rid of them. Banana slicers? Is that a big thing somewhere? Get rid of those as well. You've got those banana slicers laying around. And old clothes you haven't worn in years. I'm telling you, if I haven't worn it in a year, out it goes. Unless it's like a concert t-shirt, you don't wear those. Get rid of your quesadilla makers and so on and so forth. So just go through your household and stuff and look at things. And I know there's a Oriental lady. So that's wrong saying that. Chinese lady, Japanese lady. I don't know. Dirty knees. Look at these. That she goes through and she's like, if you don't have an emotional connection to it, just say goodbye. Goodbye. I'm not having you anymore, and throw it in the garbage. I think her name's Mrs. Unclutter or something like that. Now, these guys right here, as we get closer to the new year, there's going to be a lot of drinking going on. Now, I consider myself a professional. It took me many years to figure out what's my limit, what gets me there, and how do I stay there without getting completely out of control and waking up with hangovers in the morning. It was a running joke between a good friend of mine, myself, and Jason Howell. And unfortunately, he's passed away. Well, there's a joke there in itself. It was a running joke between myself and Jason Howell, a good friend of mine, about the race or whatever. I don't know where I'm going with that, but there you go. It's out there. But these Stanford grads have created a hangover-free alternative to beer. In just 4 years, they're on track right now to make over $36 million in annual sale. Jake Bullock and Luke Anderson only want to give you a small amount of high. These two 35-year-old co-founders of the company Cann, C-A-N-N, or Can, however you want to pronounce it, a beverage startup with the flagship drink that includes 2 milligrams of THC. The main we know what THC is, article. Thank you very much. Not old grandma. Anderson and Bullock referred to it as a social tonic or a hangover-free alternative to beer. In 2019, they launched, and if you haven't heard of the Los Angeles-based startup, you might be surprised to learn that it sold over 10 million drinks across the 7 states and Canada. It's one of the top-selling cannabis beverages right now in the USA. Bullock and Anderson project sales of more than 9 million cans per year, which, with their prices, start at $24 for a six-pack. Whoa, all right. It would generate at least $36 million in annual revenue. That would tip Cann into the profitability, So it took them several years to get to this point. So $24 for a six-pack of beer. So my question, I have several questions. How long does the six-pack, if you were to drink all 6 of them, let's say you drink one, how long does that buzz last? Is it 30 minutes? Is it 20 minutes? Is it 15? Am I drinking a 6-pack in a one night of outing? At a social party, if you're doing the social drinking stuff, 6-pack would last you, through a 2-hour or 3-hour engagement. And how high do you get? I mean, do I want to be a little high? What if I want to be a lot of high? Do they make 40-ounce bottles of this THC? I can roll up like old school people. Who's to say? But $24 for a 6-pack, man, that's kind of steep. But maybe that's the world we're going to. I mean, Bud Light took a big hit with the whole transgender thing, and maybe people, maybe younger adults growing up don't want to drink their father's beer. They don't want to drink their parents' beer, and they want a beer to call their own. And maybe with the legalization of THC that's going on in this world, maybe that's where we're headed. And Anheuser's probably going to gobble them up. And, as those big drink producing companies do, look at Pepsi. Pepsi didn't create, half the drinks that they did. They just bought them from someone else. I say someone had them, and they just bought the company and just folded them over. Now, this woman right here is furious. I don't know if her son had a hangover or what, but a shopper is furious after the son vomits at a supermarket. That's where she's going. And the employees made her clean it up herself. A mom, so this is from the UK, a mom has divided hundreds after claiming a supermarket worker made her, in quotes, clean up her son's vomit after he was sick at the self-checkout. An anonymous woman said that she was at the Woolworth counter when a 2-year-old son suddenly fell ill and vomited all over themselves and the floor near the exit. The mom immediately tried to help her child feel better and apologized to the supermarket staff who had witnessed this encounter. Now, however, she says that she was shocked when the staff insisted that the mom had to clean up the mess for herself. The mom, who said that she had to wrangle the 2 children while trying to clean up the mess and eventually had to scan her groceries while her son was covered in vomit. The Sydney mom shared her experience on popular social media group and asked if she could bother complaining to the supermarket chain. She explained that she went to Woolworth on Sunday with her 5-year-old and her 2-year-old to buy groceries for their school lunches, where things then started to go awry. Then I started to get really frustrated and flustered, she says. It was rude. I wasn't rude or anything like that. After I settled my son, I apologized to the staff for having to get someone to clean up, for having them to get someone to clean it up. And the worker turned to me and said, "No, you have to clean this up." The mom says she was anxious about the situation, but didn't want to argue. So she started cleaning up the puke on the floor. My son was being a real handful the whole time. We were so close to the front exit that opened up to a busy road. So she was probably worrying about her kid running out there. I started to clean, and the employee told the worker to stand over me and make sure that he cleaned it up. Meanwhile, my son was trying hard to run out to see the cars. So do you agree that she should have had to been able to clean the stuff herself, the puke? I don't think I've ever seen anything or heard anyone in my whole entire life growing up where if someone puked, that was it, man. You went in there and did it. I know I got yelled at for cleaning something up. When I worked at Toys R Us many years ago, right out of high school, the bathroom overflowed. And at the time, the bathrooms were right by the payphones. Traditionally, that's how it was back in the early 90s. And I'm sitting there mopping the floor, and I'm laughing with the guy because I'm sitting there basically mopping pee and urine off the floor. I know. Are you guys eating yet? Wait to finish your sandwich after this. And I'm mopping and I'm laughing with the guy that we're kids, man, high school kids. And I'm mopping the floor, and this guy's on a phone, and he's on this, intense business call, and he spins around to me and goes, "Hey, I understand you're trying to do your job, but you're slapping that piss water all over my legs." And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I just think this is so funny that I physically have to do this when I was signed up to work in the warehouse. I'm sitting here. I don't care. Just, stop slapping it in my direction. So rinse the water out, and I went on about my day. Hopefully that guy did too. All right, guys, guess what? When we come back, there is a company right now that is praying that the whole solar and the whole EV and all that stuff, save clean energy, takes off because they are going to make a killing. And it's not the way that you think they are. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Well, we'll give you something for free. You got to do me a favor. Go over to Prophet Radio, proud sponsors of Deacon Live. That's PROPHET Radio. Get yourself something for free over there. You can see all the different podcasts that are produced here in the Prophet Radio studio. Pick yourself a little prize pack. We'll send it out to you. It's not an email grab, like I said. And don't forget, also, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video. You can see us waving to you, you waving at us as well. I hope so. And you can see news articles in real time that we're talking about them here on the show. We have a lot of visuals that go on here during the program. And as I'm talking about something, you can see it in real time over on YouTube. So make sure you like and subscribe over there as well. We don't do it for the money over on YouTube. We're not trying to get like a million subscribers or a million views. It's just another avenue for you guys, another media source that you guys can enjoy and be part of the Deacon Live family. That's all it is. It's, it's a comfort place. You can go there and relax. I know the TV stuff is not going to be well, let's put it this way. If you're tired of watching all the same old on TV, just pop us on. The shows are about an hour long if you want to watch those. And we've got a bunch of them up there. I think there's 500 and some odd videos up there. You can check those out. Now, I'm not a hockey fan. I know some sporting events are deadly, and I think hockey ranks up there as far as being one of the most deadliest ones. I mean, there's boxing, there's football. People can complain about, CET and concussions and stuff. And then baseball, you might get a hurt person here and there. Someone gets hit in the head with a ball, little concussion or something like that. Boxing, of course. But I mean, as far as like fighting, hockey's right up there. Now, unfortunately, a man has been arrested in connection to a death of a hockey player, Adam Johnson. Not Johnson. The South Yorkshire Police Department confirmed to the BBC that a man was arrested Tuesday on suspicion of manslaughter following the 29-year-old athlete's death on October 28 during the game against the Sheffield Steelers. Now, this is what happened. Johnson's team, a British hockey club known as the Nottingham Panthers, announced that his death on social media in the early hours of October 29th, writing on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, that the player has died during a freak accident when the opponent Mac Petgrave's skate slashed Johnson's neck during the game. According to the BBC, Johnson's cause of death was confirmed to be a fatal neck injury after post-mortem examination. And right now, he just got, as of a couple hours ago, I was reading the update on this, he has been let out on bail. So Detective Chief Superintendent Bex Horsfall said that the investigation launched immediately following this tragedy. The department has been carrying out the intensive inquiries ever since to piece together the events which led to the loss of Adam's life due to unpredicted circumstances. The investigation has support from the Health and Safety Department of Sheffield City County, and the team has been speculating on high specialization experts in their field to assist with the inquiries on the statement. So can you imagine that? I mean, you look at those blades, they're ice skating blades. Shoes? Skates. They're skates. And you always think about if you step on someone's finger, man, it's going to cut it right off. Now, I've heard people say that those things are razor sharp, but I don't think they're razor sharp. From my understanding, now hear me out here. Close your eyes. Picture in your mind a piece of steel, let's say a 1/4 inch wide, just because I don't know the measurement. We don't do millimeters here in the United States. Let's say it's a 1/4 inch wide. Now, that is not a flat piece of metal. If you're watching me here on the video, it's not a flat piece of metal. What that skate looks like under a microscope is the right side and the left side of that skate is longer, and then it's got this upward meniscus in the middle. So when you turn right, the right side of that blade digs in, and the left side kind of holds your ground, and vice versa. So it's not like a point, like you would see on a knife, like a chef's knife or something like that. It's quite the opposite. It's like an upside down or an inverted knife where the outside of each wall is sharp and the inside kind of like this little cubby, this little U shape. And that's how they're able to make them turn and all that stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, the skates are probably sharp in themselves, but people think of it as like a knife when it's not. It's actually the opposite of that. It's a nifk. Now, as you guys may or may not know, if you've been listening to the past episodes for at least the last year and stuff, you know that my wife and I ordered a brand new truck. We had to order it. It took a long time to get here. And because of the chip program and stuff, now we have, we live on a horse ranch. We have a horse ranch. We don't live on it. We own it. This is us. So we're, hauling horses around. So we had to upgrade our arsenal as far as vehicles to haul and tow horses around. So we ordered brand new Chevy Silverado 2500 series high country. I know. You can't cry poor in this house, right? Believe me, you have horses. You'll be crying poor every day. But there was a time before we bought my wife's car, we were thinking about getting an electric vehicle because we, at the time, my office was in downtown Charlotte and her office was just outside of downtown Charlotte. And it was an hour drive. It was 84 to 86 miles round trip. I know. Whoo, that's a lot of gas, especially you driving a big old truck. And so we thought about getting an electric vehicle. And then we sat there and thought about it. And we were like going, okay, so what are the price trade-offs and everything like that? How much are we actually spending on gas? How much is the new battery cost after 10 years to replace it? And so on and so forth. And there's a whole bunch of other things. So even though this article right now, here's why people aren't really diving into the whole EV and being sold despite the price cuts and tax breaks. Electric vehicles are piling up in car lots across the country as green revolution hits a speed bump, the data shows. EV inventory has increased by 506% from a year ago, with EVs sitting in lots for longer and longer time, according to Car Guru's last report in October. The EV sits on the market for an average of 82 days versus the 64 days a gas-powered vehicle. In response to the slow demand, everything's bouncing around here with all these pop-ups. In response to the slow demand, automakers like Ford and GM are cutting production on these vehicles. Our EVs are still too expensive for most people, even government incentives, even with the government incentives, surveys say. While customers still have plenty of concerns around an EV's battery range, price remains higher. The price remains the higher priority when purchasing an EV. So aren't the prices dropping with the help of Tesla's price cuts? Yes, they are. The average price paid in September for a new EV fell to $50,000 from $52,000 according this past August. $65,000 a year earlier, and they were $65,000 a year earlier, with incentives rising to 9.8% of the transaction price, $4,900 according. With incentives representing 9.8% of the transaction price, or $4,900, whatever hits there first. Used EVs saw similar declines, with EVs 3 years or older shedding 29% of car buying platforms. So even though the price is lower than the average EV, even with those lowering of the prices, the new average for an EV listed price is 28% higher than the gas vehicles last month. That brings the cost for a 60-month loan with interest rate near 8% on average on a new EV to $277 more a month than a car. Beyond the car itself, the total cost of ownerships during the first 5 years are even higher. Installing an at-home generator can cost anywhere from $2,000 and up. Insurance generally costs more, and you save on fuel, but the gas prices are dropping for about 8 weeks in a row. That's an incentives warning. Maintenance costs and might be lower as well, but you'll likely to buy more tires because the EVs are heavier and running the tires down faster. In early February, EVs cost a customer an average of $65,000 for the first 5 years of ownership, while gas vehicles traditionally average around $56,000. So you know, is it good? Is it bad? I mean, there's ups and downs. Hey, look, I'm saving the environment. Yes, I know, it's great. Good job, nice car. What's that South Park issue? Hey, you got an EV? Very nice. Hey, I know I'm saving the environment. I'm so smug. But, you know, in reality, you're losing a whole lot of money on these things. Now, Elon Musk, if he continues the path that he's going on and pushing this whole entire, you know, his line of stuff, he's going to saturate the market, and hopefully all this stuff will drop down, and eventually, you know, cost and demand will balance itself out. But what was Joe Biden? He was putting in something where no gas cars can be by, 2025 or something like that? It's not going to happen. They're going to push that bill right back in the toilet where it came from. Now, this company right here hopes that the clean energy bill continues to go on. And out of all the people in the world that want clean energy to succeed, it's the people that make power poles. And you say, why? Well, let's think about it for a little bit. America's investing in clean energy. This involves building infrastructure that supports clean electric vehicles, charging stations, solar panels or polar panels, and they're ramping up the electrical grid. So power poles are the one critical for the electricity infrastructure, and it's Give me a second while I catch up. So power poles are taking a huge advantage of this whole entire infrastructure buildup. They're made particularly from tall, straight trees and can readily hold all the equipment needed to power and increasingly electrify the world. Most of the American poles currently are from large pineland regions, such as southern states like Georgia. Thus, the utility pole is now booming. Interest has also been growing for concrete and steel and composite poles as the potential alternative as a potential alternative to timber poles. So at the moment, a demand for utility poles is outpacing capacity. This has been a boom for America's two largest pole firms, Pittsburgh Koppers, if you want with a K, if you want to buy some stock in them. Their IPO is COP. Let me see what their stock's going for. So let me pull up my little Robinhood app here. I've got Robinhood, by the way. I highly recommend it. If you want some free stock, go over to profitradio.com. You can, I'll give you some free stock over there. I got a little link over there. You can check that out. So let's see. KOP. Koppers right now is going for $42 a share. Oh, it's down a little bit. It's down about $1.29 as of opening today. The other company is Montreal Stella Jones. So let's look at their stock. How are they looking? And their stock is STLJF, I guess, for some reason. No, ST. Sausage fingers. STLJF. Did I not spell it again? I can't see. The writing's so small. STLJF. Oh, you know why? It's a Canadian stock. Robinhood doesn't do Canadian stock. So I'll click on the symbol here and see what it goes for in Canada. Oh, their stock is $60 and it is, it's down. It was 61 this morning. Now it's down to 68 or $60. So there you go. That's a Canadian stock. So if you want to jump in on board of that choo-choo train, go right ahead. But yeah, power poles are becoming more and more expensive. Now, of course, they got, steel. What's the cost? Does it make the cost to make steel? Wood poles are a renewable resource because, for every tree they cut down, they got to plant 10 trees. So there's a structure already put in place for that. But then, there's a whole circle of, the wildlife and all that. We can't win. We can't win. We just need to dumb the planet down. I think Bill Burr said for a long time, there's too many people on this planet. He's like, I'm thankful for the COVID thing to go out to kind of wipe out we got too many people on this planet. Let's wipe some of these people out. So there you go. And when we come back, has that little light on your dashboard popped up yet? You know what light I'm talking about. When we get into cold weather, everyone freaks out. Everyone thinks something's going wrong with their car because this one little light pops on that never pops on this time of year, especially down in Florida. I'll dive into that here. And when we come back, stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. I promise. I promise. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We'd love to hear from you, and the way you can be part of the show at any given time is to go to Prophet Radio, proud sponsors of Deacon Live. That's PROPHET radio.com. At the bottom of the page has a little blue bar with a little microphone attached to it. It says, be heard. And whatever device that you're listening to us on or at, speak right into it. You can be anonymous if you want. I don't care who you are. I just want to hear you out there. And like I said, we don't do New Year's resolutions. We do New Year's predictions. And you can get yours in now, and we can... basically, I say basically, we'll play them leading up to the new year on every episode leading up to the new year. Did I say that twice? I said it twice, and it sounded good when I said it the first time, so I repeated it, I guess. And while you're there, you can get yourself something for free. Pick you out a price pack over there at ProphetRadio.com. Proud sponsors of Deacon Live and all the other podcasts that are broadcasted here in the Prophet Radio studio. Now, it's getting cold outside. Why don't you stay? It's cold outside. I forget how that song goes. But down in Florida, I know everyone freaks out this time of year, especially if you were from up north and all of a sudden you drive down to Florida and the temperature drops below a certain degree. And what happens is there's a light on your dashboard that you probably never seen before, especially in those electric vehicles. Well, the question is, that little light that pops up is that you got a low pressure in one of your tires, and everyone freaks out. Oh my God, I've got a flat tire. I got a nail. The kid flattened my tire. Do I need to put air in my tire when it's cold outside? Well, the short answer is yes, but many veteran car owners, as you well know, all too well, the new car owners, this is a spooky... The short answer is yes. Many car owners, veteran car owners, will know this all too well. But for new car owners out there, this spooky light that you're seeing means that it's time to pump up your tires. Well, here's a quick science lesson for you. The temperature is governed by the relative speeds of the molecules, in which, when it's hot, the molecules spread out faster, and when it's cold, they slow down and huddle together, kind of like when you're when it's cold and you wrap up in. Hold on, I'll just wait. Huddled up underneath a blanket. The result is the air containing within these in your tires all get compressed because of the cold air. You roughly lose about 1 to 2 pounds per square inch of tire pressure for every 10 degrees of temperature drops. In the winter, this can quickly rack up to be 4 to 6 pounds. Now, I know what you're thinking. If the pressure is going to bounce back, do I really need to fill up my tires? Or secondarily, if I do fill up my tires, do I need to adjust it when it gets warm again? The first answer is yes, you do. And the second to the answer is yes. So what happens is in Florida, you really don't change the air pressure in your tire. Here in the Carolinas and stuff, you constantly have to change the temperature in your tires, or change the air pressure in your tires, I should say. So if it gets low in the wintertime, yes, you do want to pump up and put more air in those tires, unless you've got those nitrogen. Whatever happened to the nitrogen tires that were out there? Are they still doing that somewhere? I think one of my trucks has nitrogen in the tire. And you're like, well, what's the difference between nitrogen and regular air? Well, because nitrogen doesn't react to cold air like regular exterior air, the air that me and you are breathing. It actually is a denser air, and it's less susceptible to shrinking and swelling based on temperature. So if you got nitrogen in your tires, you're good to go. But I think they kind of eliminated that because I think they were charging it. It was a scam for a while, I think is what it was, now that I think about it. But yes, and when it gets hot outside, don't forget, you've got to lower the air in your the pressure in your tires from the wintertime because you've added too much air in there. It's like blowing up a balloon too big and then shrinking down. So there you go. Yes, in the wintertime, you do add air to your tires just a little bit to bring it up over the edge. Now you're asking yourself, well, how much air do I put in the tire? Do I look at the side wall and it says, oh, this can take 40 pounds of pressure or 60 pounds of pressure or whatever the rate is? Do I put that amount in there? No, you do not. If you open up your door, all right, listen, all you bobos out there. If you open up your driver's side door and you look in the door well, there is a label. There's a data label on there. And it'll tell you how heavy your vehicle is, how much weight your vehicle can handle, like luggage and stuff like that, and people in the car. It'll tell you the color of the paint. It'll tell you a couple other things, like gear ratio and trade-off and stuff. I don't get into all that. But if you look at that inside the door well, it'll actually tell you the pressure that you need to put on your front tires and the pressure that you need to have on your back tires. As long as you maintain those pressures at all times, you're good to go. So it might say 60 pounds on the side of your car, but the rating for your tires, as long as you're still with the manufacturer tires that are approved for your car. Now, if you get, big old swamp buggy tires on there, well, you're on your own with that there, Jethro. But I'm talking about the people out there that just buy the car and they still have the manufacturer tires on there or the approved tires on there. And the tires might say 40 pounds, but the inside label says 38 pounds. Do you know why it says 38 pounds? Well, I'll tell you. Because when you start driving around, those tires are going to heat up. And when they heat up, they will swell to 40 pounds of pressure. That's good. That's okay. The tire can hold them. Do not go over that, because if you put 40 in there and you drive around and the tire swells up, you're going to be driving on balloons, and you slide off the road, and then, boom, look at me, I'm dead in a ditch. Oh my God, someone call someone and save me out of the ditch. What happened? Too much air in my tires. So there you go. That's what happens this time of year. I know we get a whole brand new audience every year that comes in, and sometimes you just have to remind them. You just have to remind them that, these are the things that happen on the planet, and that's what we do here on Deacon Live. Just to remind you that these things are happening on the planet. Now, something that's happening on the planet right now is, you can argue back and forth, up and down. I don't care. I have no stance on this. But planes right now are being grounded because of a surprising new issue. This surprising new issue has affected over 20,000 flights. 20,000 flights in the last week. And what they're saying is the effects of our overheating planet. That's where I go, all right, easy on that. But I mean, some are true, some are fake. I don't know. I'll let you guys, I'm not going to pass judgment on you, whether you guys argue amongst yourselves. I don't care. If you want to argue amongst yourself, go over to Prophet Radio, go to Be Heard, and spit out what your idea is as far as the planet overheating or not. But what's happening is the overheating planet has been wreaking havoc on people's lives for years, and now it's taken a new victim, which is air travel. So what's happening in the summer of 2023, travelers worldwide expected the world's worst traveling season on record, with more than 20,000 flights affected in 1 week alone. As our planet heats up, extreme weather events have becoming more frequent and more intense. Storms, wildfires, and heat waves have worsened, and they affect all air travel. And you go, okay, well, how does that happen? There's a lot of ways where climate change can affect air travel. Thunderstorms are the obvious one. And then if there's more heat in the air, there's more moisture for thunderstorms. The increasing smoke from intense wildfires has also been an issue. The plane's navigation systems aren't really designed to work well through wildfire smoke. It's kind of like a barrier. It's almost like a lead curtain. They can't really, as they fly through it, they have no communication with the ground if they get into that smoke. There's also invisible turbulence, and high heat is the reason for delays and cancellation. In extremely high temperatures, anything that's over 100 degrees, a plane needs more time and distance to take off to fight gravity. The extreme heat can also cause runways to buckle. There was one instant when a plane's wheel got stuck on the runway that had melted due to the extreme heat. Due to the extreme heating temperatures. The reason behind the delays and cancellations aren't going away anytime soon, meaning travel will not only be affected this summer, but every summer from here on out. Rising temperatures caused by human activity are already the cause areas across the country to experience intense storms. devastating wildfires, and record temperatures. So if you say, what's going on this summer, maybe summer's not the best time to go traveling. I know kids are out of school. The weather's great in different countries and stuff. You want to go fly around and stuff. Well, expect, a delay, and don't be mad. Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. I just sit at home. I don't go anywhere. I got that brand new truck I was telling you out there. I've had it for almost 2 years now. It's barely got 7,000 miles on it. That's how much we travel around here. Now, this woman right here, I just want to slap right in the face. I'm sorry. I'm going to say straight up. I just want to slap her right in the face and say, shut up and sit down. Now, what was it? A few months ago, you had that woman that goes, that person in the back of the plane is not real. And she came forward and said, defining what actually happened. She's like, that's the most embarrassing thing that's happened in my life. But in reality, it's probably the best thing that happened in her life. She was an actual, her job was a PR representative, not a PR. She was a promotion representative for some company. And, she went from 10,000 members on her, whatever, and to a million people that started following her. So now she's got a huge audience. So here is one of the most egotistical things I've ever seen on a plane. Starts the article. A Grammy-nominated gospel singer, Bobby Storm, puts on a show in a recent Delta Airlines flight. Well, Delta Airlines kind of the Spirit Airlines, the upgraded Spirit Airlines. But everyone was happy to be there for the most part. And if you want to, let me get to that here. A lot of things can make a plane ride unbearable. Crying babies, loud adults, and a Grammy-nominated singer who refuses to stop singing. Oh, God. Here we go. And this is the case on Delta Airlines flight on November 10th when gospel singer Bobby Storm started singing and refused to stop. Shut up! Even after being told by the flight attendants and the crew members to sit down. In a video posted to Instagram, Storm stood up and decided that she wanted to start singing to the passengers before sitting down and announcing to the flight that she had been nominated for 2 Grammy Award winners that day. The seatbelt sign is off, she says. It's not a disturbance. She continued, I used to sing on planes all a long time ago. I just found out that I'm up for 2 Grammy Awards. The flight attendant then walked over to Storm and asked her to stop. Sit down, lady. Shut up. Nobody cares. So if you want to see this video here, I'm going to switch to camera 4. And here's the video of her, I guess, wrapping up whatever she was singing and making her go back to her seat. Now, she's a gospel singer, and she, great for her. Sing about whatever you want. She got nominated for 2 Grammy Awards. Gospel singer, great. That's your path in life. That's what you want to do. Shoot the moon with it. But when you start doing this, it gets a little annoying, and a lot more people were saying, it's kind of cringy. So here we go.
I'm starting right now.
I'm stopping right now. So she's standing in the middle of the aisle. The older male flight attendant comes up to her and says, go sit down.
The seatbelt sign's off. It's not a disturbance. Once you it's right here, babe. I am. You have a seat. Okay, so watch me bless him.
Watch me bless him.
Planes a long time ago. I just found out I'm up for 2 Grammys. My very first time, you guys.
Now, she is a light-skinned black woman with blonde hair. If you ever seen, what's that new Sabrina on Netflix? The one of the sisters, the light-skinned black girl with the blonde hair like matted to her head. This is what she looks like.
My name is Bobby Storm, and I'm up for 2 Grammys. I sing for the Lord, and my song is out.
I sing for the Lord.
All platforms. It's called We Can't Forget Him. Michael McDonald cleared it. Warren G is on the original
him
record
too.
As well. It's with Regulators. I want to share this with you guys. I wanted to do.
So she's sitting in her chair and she's like sticking her head down the aisle, and her partner or whatever is filming the back of her. So this person who's filming is in on the game because she's sitting next to whoever's filming. And she's preaching all this stuff about, and she's looking down the aisles, and everyone's looking at her and like, yay, you got 2 Grammys, yay, and stuff. And then the flight attendant, this older gentleman, black male, gentleman is just not having it. And here he comes back.
When I first got on the plane, but I was like, you know, I haven't done this in a while. I've gotten to the next status, so.
Are you able to be quiet?
But they're enjoying it. So while we're sitting here, could I please?
I'm not enjoying it. So I'm asking you, can you be quiet?
Okay, well,
That's
I
a yes,
find that up.
That's a yes or no answer.
Can you be quiet?
I'm gonna go to jail if I don't.
Can you please answer my question? Are you willing and able to be quiet right now?
I'm doing what the Lord is telling me to do.
I'm asking you a question, yes or no. I'm your flight leader. I need you to follow my instructions.
Shut up, lady!
My instructions for you to answer my question. Are you able to be quiet?
What do you guys think?
What do you guys think? Oh, God.
I'm asking you, ma'am.
I'm asking you guys. What do you guys think?
Okay.
Shut
If
up!
you're not able to follow my instruction, you will not be taking this flight.
Okay.
Are
So
you
that's
able
what I
to
was
be
asking.
quiet?
If that's the case, then that's fine. If you were the
So that's
person
yes?
in charge of it all.
I'm your flight leader, yes.
If you're the person in charge
Okay.
of it all, then that's
Okay.
fine.
All right. Thank
right.
you.
Shut up, lady. Sit down.
Sing it on the low for y'all in the back. If that's okay.
She said, I'm going to sing real low for you people in the back, if that's okay. I'd be like, no, I'm trying to take this flight. Shut up, lady. Did we almost have it all? I'm going to get up and sing.
All right. So the song is called We Can't Forget 'Em. All right?
Okay.
Download it.
And 2, and 3, and
I
go.
don't know the issue. No one else has ever had an issue, but it's Father,
Oh, God.
thank you for each day.
Shut up.
I realize.
I'd be hitting that buzzer, that ding dong about, get me off this plane. If she's not getting off, get me off this plane.
I don't need anything. I need you.
Okay, we got it. Vanity. 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 It's one of the 7 deadly sins, lady.
I try to pretend I can do without you, but I'll be out of my mind. Doing things my way, losing faith. Just living life.
How long does this go
I
on?
don't want this life no more. Oh Lord.
Okay.
My mind,
It keeps going.
I keep forgetting.
And she's videotaping herself singing the song at the same time, going live or something on Instagram. There's the button. Someone hit it.
We gotta learn the hard way. I keep forgetting. We can't forget it.
I'm going to keep playing to let you guys know how irritating this is. I know you're like going, all right, how long does she keep going on? I'm playing the whole goddamn thing. And you tell me I would have thrown her off the plane.
So just so you know, if you're on this flight, you have been, thank you so much. You gotta clap on the low. I know. Thank you so much.
There's an Oriental lady who goes, I know what you're saying. She just like, and there's people on the flight with a mask over their face, probably dying, like rolling their eyes and
So
stuff.
look up Maverick City. Maverick City has an album out right now. They are a contemporary gospel group.
She's a promotion right here on the plane.
Album that's called We Can't Forget 'Em. Yep, We Can't Forget 'Em.
Captive audience.
Available everywhere. It's on the billboards. So, you know, people like that, you know, they spirits a little.
All right.
They can't accept it, but I'm here to spread what God needs me to spread. I'm here to spread that because that's what's gotten me where I am. I quit my job in October of last year, and I just went out by faith, and now here I am. So remember the space and chase the storm. All right, y'all. BOBBI, storm like the weather. Thank you guys for sure. Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
And Bobby, you're a what now? A 2-time Grammy Nom?
Yes.
Oh, now she's
Just
talking to the
as of
person in
today,
video.
2-time Grammy nominated with Maverick City, the Maverick way. Thank you. Thank you.
And now I got to sit next to this girl the whole entire time. Let me switch back to camera one. Now I got to sit next to this lady all the way back to Chicago. Fuck that. I'd jump out of plane. No wonder people jumping out of the planes because they don't know the backstory about things like this going on in the background. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you get back to enjoying the rest of your day. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Search DeaconLive Podcast over on YouTube, and you can see all the social contacts by going to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. Get yourself something for free over there. You can also be heard. You can be anonymous on that. Opens up a little microphone. We'd like to hear your New Year's predictions. Get those in. We'll play them on the following podcast leading up to 2024. So get those in now. We'll stack them up and play them on the following podcast coming up. All right, guys, on that note, I'll let you get back to enjoying the rest of your day. My name is the Deacon saying good night and good night. Didn't we almost have it all?
Absolute end.
And man, that life would live in. Someone shoot me, please. Thanks. Take care.